Sharon was a member of our fit group. Now, this was a group of 12 jewelers who were accountable to each other, and twice a year, we would gather at each other's store and share everything from marketing to financials and pretty much everything else under the sun. Well, Sharon called me one day and she said, "I want you to come to my store and teach me to do what you did. You just seem to have all the right people and they stay with you. I want that for my store." So I went. And this is what I taught her in a nutshell. First, we had to start with Sharon on the inside. Now, I knew Sharon for a short time, and after a conversation, I was sure that she loved to have fun and pretty much get things done. I was aware of her strengths and what made her tick. So the story of Sharon's life is this: let's have fun and let's just do. Now that we understood Sharon, we knew what she wanted for her store, and that was, when you walk into my store, you're going to enjoy yourself and we're going to get things done. That was Sharon. Next, we had conversations with everyone on the staff. We learned tons about each other. Sherry was a get-along detailed person. Mark is the goldsmith, and he's a highly detailed achiever. Casey was always smiling, laughing, with big eyes, and approachable, and just fun. Tina was all calm, laid back, and efficient, especially with projects. And now that we had everyone's story, we could share it with each other and freely discuss each other's strengths. For example, everyone disrespected Casey because she was always dropping the ball in customer follow-up, and everyone else would get caught up in the crossfire. But the weird thing was, Casey was the top salesperson in the store. And if she stood in front of you at the counter, you were buying, period. And customers just loved her for it. So when we discovered that her tendency is fun, we could now work on ways to support her with her strengths and perhaps have Sherry team up with her and support her with details. And wow, what a team they make. And then there was Mark. Now, Mark's the goldsmith, and he's a highly detailed and focused kind of guy, like you want your goldsmith to be. He enjoyed being appreciated by customers. Everything he touches ends up looking absolutely perfect. He's meticulous with everything and has amazing attention to detail. So when one of the gals came in to have a jump ring soldered for Mrs. Best Customer's charm bracelet, he would insist on the standard take-in process and promise date because he didn't want to stop the project or take the focus off what he was currently working on. We had a store meeting and we talked about each other's strengths and weaknesses, and the team began to learn how to talk to each other. For example, Casey, who was all fun, was not built for detail. Her world revolves around fun, so much so that if it's not fun, she didn't want to do it. She shut down. And that's what's great about Casey. She has this knack for lifting the spirits in the store, especially when it's slow. So when talking with her, we knew that if we needed her to get a detailed project done, such as a custom piece, we would discuss how happy Margaret would be when Tom gave her this restyled mother's ring. And when talking with Mark about needing to drop what he was doing and take care of a great customer, we'd use words like, Mark, Mrs. Jacobson is here, and, she won't let anyone but you touch her jewelry. She would love it if you had this ring sized for her anniversary dinner tomorrow night. Can she count on you, Mark? So now, with this talk, Sharon had a team that was aware of each other's strengths and weaknesses, and they could build a phenomenal store atmosphere and respect and help each other out. Now, sales goals and pay plans, they're all melded together, and she can truly enjoy her business. Also, because everyone knows each other's strengths, Sharon no longer needs to light a fire under her staff. The fire is lit within them. In the long run, people began to clamor at her door to work for her, and she has enjoyed such reduced turnover, except for the occasional retirement. And now Sharon can work on her business instead of trying to babysit her staff to do what she was so hard trying to do, and that's grow her store. Once you determine what makes you tick, you can set the stage you desire for your store. Now, this will also tell you where you need to hire. For example, Sharon, the owner, enjoyed people and achieving sales, and she was terrible at financials. So she hired a great bookkeeper who was also great at all the details, like inventory check-in and all those other nitty-gritty details that nobody else wanted to do. So It also helps your staff get into the right position. For example, Sherry was a person who enjoyed getting along with people and paying attention to details. And she wasn't outgoing with customers as, say, Sharon or Casey, but she was awesome at the details. Now, if you wanted a custom job done, Sherry was your gal because she would listen to each customer intently and grab every little speck of detail from them and then have Mark create precisely what they wanted. Mark loved this about her. So Sherry just knew that she had to team up with Sharon or Casey to engage the customer. And as soon as the ice was broken, Sherry was on her way. The result of this whole process was teamwork. They worked so well together to overcome each other's area of need. Now also, when the need to hire more staff came, and I promise you it always will when this starts to pop, Sharon could determine exactly what she needed to fill and plug in the right person for that position. And by the way, there is a way to become aware and understand your staff quickly. And the same method works to get to know your customer quickly. I'll tell you more about that next time. Now, of course, if you're thinking this requires more work, it really doesn't. These strengths can all be discovered during daily conversation. Once you've engaged in these conversations, everything changes. It's easy, informative, and it's fun. And guess what? Your customers will notice big time and sales will rise. A funny thing was, we found the right staff was right inside of Sharon's store.